Bungie is addressing Master Raids and Adept Root of Nightmares raid loot in this week's Twab. Let's start from the beginning. First, they have a TLDR from last week's Twab going through all the different bullet points. Did an entire video covering everything, so no need to go through all of that. Then they have a section where they give a tribute to Lance Reddick, which I'm sure most of you know by now, has passed away at the age of 60, and he was the voice actor for Commander's Fall, so that's very kind of them to do that. And I mentioned the message that they posted as well. Then they have a brief overview of the graphs section that they did with PvP. I did an entire video covering that. That came out yesterday. Make sure to watch that one because that article was absolutely massive. It was honestly bigger than the TWAB this week. And so definitely worth reading that or watching that video because a ton of Crucible changes are in the mix. Now we're on to the new stuff. And we have the raid weekly challenges are right around the corner. And we have the master difficulty of the new raid. So this is actually really exciting. It's Time Guardians. Raid weekly challenges are here. Raid master difficulty offers a higher challenge and greater rewards, including armor with a weekly rotating stat focus. So if you don't know, when you load into the raid every single week, there will be a stat focus. It'll either be mobility, strength, recovery, discipline, whatever it may be. And when you complete these activities in the raid, you'll get the armor to drop and it'll have a really high stat boost in that respective focus. So it can be very advantageous to farm or to complete the raid during those particular weeks when you're trying to find that high stat armor. The weekly challenges add an optional hidden objective to one encounter each week that, when completed, grant extra loot. So you'll do one of the 4 encounters and you'll get extra loot. On normal difficulty, they drop double rewards. When cleared on master difficulty, they reward an adept raid weapon. Now, previously, adept raid weapons were not as enticing as the normals because the normals could be crafted so you could force the god roll. However, with the new Adept raid weapon system, you can now get the enhanced traits of those perks on the Adept and then reap the rewards of having the Adept mods. So Adept raid weapons are the real god rolls now. The crafted raid weapons are not the best version. So let's continue. As noted in a previous article, enhancing Master Root of Nightmares Adept weapons will be possible, allowing the traits that rolled on the weapon to be upgraded. This capability will not be immediately available when the Master Raid launches and will arrive in the mid-season patch. So really strange. So they're going to launch the Master Raid. You're going to get Adept weapons, but you're not going to have the ability to make the perks enhanced immediately. You're going to have to wait like a few weeks until the mid-season patch goes live. So keep that in mind. And they say make sure to not delete those weapons, especially if you get a good roll of the Adept. The Raid Adept weapons you acquire prior to this patch will still be able to be enhanced, so you'll want to avoid throwing out any good rolls. So make sure to hang on to them because they will be able to be enhanced. It's just you have to wait for the update. Before Master Difficulty releases, we wanted to talk about 2 issues pertaining to the Root of Nightmares. Get ready. These 2 changes are absolutely crazy, and this is going to upset some people, but I think these are actually good changes. The first being Nezrak's behavior. Sometimes Nezrak doesn't always respond to the players when they are standing in a well of radiance. If you haven't seen this before, if you pop a well and you just like stand in front of him and melee him, he just stands there and does nothing. It's very strange behavioral pattern. I've made a few different clips about this. In a future update, we will be updating this behavior, which in turn should make Nezrak feel more like the final god of pain. Okay, very interesting. So they're going to be actually changing Nezrak's behavior post-release, which is something we almost never see. I don't know if we have ever seen this happen in the history of Destiny. While it is our philosophy to avoid making dramatic tuning changes to an activity once it is live, we feel it better to address the responsiveness of the boss and accept that it may alter current strategies and increase the level of challenge. Very interesting. So we'll see how much more Nezrak feels like the real final god of pain after this change. The second issue we'd like to discuss is around the jump pads that can be found throughout the Root of Nightmares, specifically in the second encounter, Scission. The jump pads are a tool to help players cross large areas while allowing players to use Strand if they'd like to circumvent using the jump pads. We've noticed that players with higher frame rates, usually above 80 FPS, but not below 60 FPS, could be unintentionally killed or almost killed by using the jump pads. We're investigating a change to address the issue in an up-and-coming release. So if you've been having an issue getting launched across the jump pads, it's just because your frame rates are too high. This is an issue that we've known in regards to, receiving more damage in the game. And frame rates just across the board kind of break the game in a variety of different ways. But so hopefully they're able to fix that one and address that one. I know I myself personally, I lowered my frame rate and did a few raids, and it felt way more better to have a lower frame rate than to have like 200 plus. Guardian rank updates, which is obviously a terrible feeling though, by the way. As we mentioned before, they're lowering the objectives because it was too difficult to run a Legend Lost Sector right off the start. So we've got Legend Lost Sector Guardian rank objectives have moved from rank 7 to rank 8. Master Lost Sector Guardian rank objectives have moved from rank 9 to rank 10. If you've already done them, though, then they'll continue to go through, so keep that in mind. Then they have the Destiny player support, and all they say right here is My Immortal SMG. That's all they say. They didn't say that they're going to nerf it, but it's an interesting little caveat thrown in there. I'm not sure if that's a hint of things to come. Then they have just a list of known issues and bugs that are currently in the game. And then we have our movie of the week and our artist of the week stuff, as per usual. And that's a wrap for this week's TWAB. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you excited for the Master Root of Nightmares to arrive? Are you going to be grinding out for some of those Adept raid weapons? That Slug Shotgun is really good. The Trace Rifle is pretty good. And the Linear Fusion Rifle are all excellent weapons, especially if you got the godroll of the Adept raid version and enhance those traits. And that's a wrap on this one. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.